doing this presenteeism thing. You've seen the figures on presenteeism from the CBI, from the CIPD. Actually, if you look at the figures, you'll find that turning up to work because you're frightened of not turning up to work, coming earlier and staying later, cost the UK economy 15 billion. Sickness absence only cost 8 billion. So lost productive value is people also turning up because they're feeling job insecure. That's the presenteeism number, and I think it's important. So the demands are really great. And if you have presenteeism, people coming earlier and staying later, then it hits the non-work issues, hits your family. When it hits your family, you create problems in your family, feeds back into the work environment. All the things that Roger was talking about. So that's why the changing demand on bank workers is extremely important and why we have to do more research on this. There's a lot of other tipping points, of course. The FCA are getting more into this arena as well. By the way, the FCA is quite interesting because they're talking about well-being now, which is fascinating. And then government expectations as well. So there's a whole load of, I think, conversations we need to have on well-being. Well-being's time, I think, has come. But it's now come as a bottom line issue, not a soft, fuzzy little thing we do when we're doing well. It's come at a time when we have to retain people. And just 2 days ago, I was meeting with some HR directors from the banking sector, but different sectors. And one of them said to me, I said, why are you getting involved in this? It's a big bank, big American bank. And he said, the reason is we're worried about regrettable turnover. I said, what do you mean? I knew what he meant because I've heard the expression before. But by that, he meant, I can't afford to. We're so lean and mean, we can't afford to lose key people. We lose key people, that's the end of our business. So I'll hand over, and you're now going to hear the results of the work we carried out.
Thanks, Gary. I don't applaud them too much yet, I'll be back. Unless that's for me, of course. Right, let me just take you through this research. So you have a new report in your packs, which builds on some previous research. And what I'm going to say is essentially bring out some of the highlights of that, which I hope will fuel the discussion actually as we move into the panel. So we did an earlier phase of this with the Work Foundation as well as partners, where that included a survey across banks. We managed to get about 550 people to complete a survey tool, which we'll talk about in a second. Gave us some provisional findings, did some qualitative work, did some interviews, some focus groups. That certainly set the scene for us in terms of some of the key issues and gave us the beginnings of an approach and a model which we wanted to try and validate and build on. It is definitely about informing this growing conversation, and anything that does that, I think, that stimulates that and helps to make it a more sophisticated conversation has to be a good thing. Work and non-work. I've found, in my experience working with a number of organisations, that some of them almost come at this as if work and non-work was happening to different people. You know, are you a work stressed person or are you a non-work stressed person? I'm not sure I can divide the two. I think I am a whole person who has a range of issues, just like all of us here. And sometimes some of us are more around work, and sometimes are more around what's happening outside of work. And of course, as Cary illustrated, we can't separate the two entirely. So, in a sense, I think we're going back to a very old approach, which is the whole person approach, and to stop thinking about human resources and treat people as people. And that comes through in this, and the importance of doing this. And we will talk more about our partnership with the Bank Workers Charity, and towards the end, after the panel session, Elisa and I will say a little bit about how we can move forward if you're interested in engaging more with us. Okay, so there's a model in here, of course. We are psychologists. We need models with boxes. We've had an established model of work-related well-being, which is everything on the right-hand side of the purple box for a long time, and it's built into everything we do. It's built into our asset tool, which is our survey tool, for a long time. So we've been looking at work pressures under impact for quite a long time. With this piece of research, we added to that by identifying some non-work scales, and from the first piece of research to this, we've improved those. And then we had an opportunity with a bank to do a much larger survey and managed to get 4,900 bank workers in this data set. And it's based on that these results are funded from, and I'll talk through. So first of all, key work pressures. The asset tool is a whole range of things that might be troubling you at work. or of course they can be positive as well. These were, in absolute terms, the top 5 in terms of key work pressures. I don't think there'll be too many surprises in that list for people in this room. I won't go through them all. Just one that I would pull out, the third one, which I find is something that people frequently talk about qualitatively in experience. Not having enough time to do the job as well as you would like. Yeah, getting lots done, but then sitting down and reflecting on how effective have I been. If I could just have a little bit more time and focus on some of that activity, would I be more effective than rushing through my day, getting through lots of things at a level, and that becoming a frustration, actually. That desire to do your best work and feeling that you can't exercise that is definitely within that. And then I guess there are some things in there which are easier to influence than others. Having little or no influence over performance targets, depending on where you sit in the bank, in the system, is quite difficult to make any real impact on, but of course how those performance targets are communicated is easy to influence. We looked at the impact, as you would expect, on health and productivity, and again we're just pulling out the kind of top influences, and so there's 5 here. So the top 2, feeling work is interfering with home or personal life, being troubled about change, had a larger impact on health than productivity, interestingly, and had a very large impact on health. The bottom 2, not receiving support, feeling insecure, larger impact on productivity than health. Let's just think about the one in the middle, because the one in the middle, not enjoying the job, had a large impact on both. So it was in the top 5, and its impact was great in terms of health concerns and productivity.